you're back again. What can I do for you?
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
No way to treat an omen.
Oh yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors.
The only...
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shite.
What?
You can't understand.
What?
That's no way.
What could have done so much damage?
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the Navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to dark water?
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Oh, hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
No idea. You better keep it shut. What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I've got to get inside. It's your boss who sent me.
Oh, yeah? And why didn't she say anything to us?
She sent me to see who's filching her stock.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got no proof to back up your claims, and I'd advise you against snitching.
If I can't get rid of those two.
What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst.
Kat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
What happened to the statue of St. Brendan? Dreadful.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors?
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
What are you guarding, exactly?
Listen, bonehead, we already told you that we're guarding our boss's turf.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's gonna be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
I bid you gentlemen farewell. If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way. Damnation. I broke it. Desecrated. Looks like Phoenician. Or a very primitive runic script. I've never seen anything like it.
Where do you think you're going?
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed.
That's true.
So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
I'd like to know more about the Hawkins case.
I don't think so.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone. You again. I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked up.
Not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
I told him, that flunky, that he'll see what a real sailor has in his belly.
If you continue like that, everyone will see what you've got in your belly.
I hope so. I hope they don't forget the lesson. Me? I'm not scared of some girl.
I mean they're going to cut you open, you idiot. Calm down.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. If you want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
I shall take my leave. A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil. A handle. It must come from these old winches. It looks like there's a way in under this grate. I could use this old winch to lift the grating. A ratchet device. Exactly what I need.
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
What? Another break?
One of those...
I told you to beat it. I told you to beat it.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Apparently the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type. You're back again. What can I do for you?
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth, and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
Ha! Indeed, you're right.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. Your superstitions are expressed in a rather disturbing fashion.
What do you mean?
The statue at the entrance of the harbor, St. Brendan. The words that are painted there, they belong to no known group of languages.
What do you mean by that?
It vaguely resembles Phoenician or some runic script.
I'm impressed by your learning, but I'm afraid that I'm unable to tell you any more on the subject.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
This language, it's a whole lot older than this statue.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get us into trouble.
It should be possible to mount this cogwheel on the winch. Looks like everything is in its place. All I have to do is turn this handle. I hope... Smoke. It's coming from this oil. I hope it's not toxic. I hope it's not... This is primitive. Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? What happened here? Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! Detective Pierce. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
You seem like a competent officer. We should help each other.
You're trying to manipulate me, Mr. Pierce. I hate to be taken for a fool.
All right, Inspector Lestrade. Let me take a more direct approach. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage, or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you...
Come on. Keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do. Well, here we are, Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
Huh. It's really that old.
Come on, let's leave the stories of the dead alone. They've nothing to do with your case anyhow. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family, so he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Poor kid. Poor kid.
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Do you know if Charles Hawkins had any enemies?
Not to our knowledge. He was a well-respected personality on the island. I don't understand. Silas would never have let such a thing happen.
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary? And steal a burnt painting? I don't see
The caretaker takes great care of these graves. The caretaker takes great care of these graves. I'll have to find another entrance. This entrance is still in use.
Whoa!
Whoa!
You are trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them! Dump them into the ocean!
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
Sarah Hawkins' father sent me here to investigate the death of his daughter.
Webster, huh? I understand how he feels. But me? I want the dead to rest in peace. And that means kicking the ass of gumshoes like you.
Why would you not want me to help understand what happened here?
I've got nothing to hide. Tell me what you're doing here. And no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident. But Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked. And I make sure it stays that way.
You still put flowers on her grave. You cherish her memory.
Mrs. Hawkins was an exceptional person. She cared for everyone around her.
Let me shed a light on what happened to her. Give me that key.
I'm probably making a big mistake, but it won't be the first. Here, take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
What, Piers? Shall we enter? Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go. Do you...
What now?
Nothing. Sorry.
Stop wasting my time.
I'm with you. Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me? What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door. Silas managed to bring the fire under control, but it was already too late for the Hawkins.
Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer? Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. They had a fight. Why? Did it stop at the time of the fire? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? Did someone escape the fire? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
Someone deliberately set fire to this mansion.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked. The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty. The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance.
Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. This place was falling apart long before the fire.
If you're right, we should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects.
A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. There's something disturbing about this painting. There's something disturbing about this painting. A crowbar could prove useful. 20,000 leagues under the sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep. A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century. What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police? Locked. The boys' room. Tom Sawyer. Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. What was wrong with this family? What? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. What was going through that boy's mind? What will her room reveal about her? Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated resorting to such a treatment. This padlock is too complicated for me. This door is locked. It's no use. The padlock won't give. It's no use. The padlock won't... It's no use. The padlock won't give. This door is locked.
Did you hear that?
What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance.
An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. There's something disturbing about this painting. A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century. This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other. What was she trying to achieve? door is blocked on the other side. Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life. Bradley? Is that you? Is anyone there?
Stop!
Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
I'll cover you.
This door was closed earlier. Where did he go?
Do you really think that your fugitive came in here? I don't see any way out.
It looks like an old Seaway map. Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well. I wonder who the man with the glasses is in the photograph. Probably another friend of Hawkins. As if the bookcase has been moved several times. This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Have you seen the old maritime maps on Charles Hawkins' desk?
Strange. No ship has left Darkwater's shore for years. Maybe he kept them for sentimental reasons.
It looks like a freehand map of Darkwater. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor. This panel is movable. Cogwheels. They must be linked to an opening mechanism. Probably a secret passage. I must find a way to activate the opening mechanism. With this, I should be able to force the gears.
Well done, Pierce.
As if the bookcase has been moved several times.
Secret passage. Under the manor. It's like a detective novel. That guy must have already gotten far.
Yeah. And he had a direct means of entry to the crime scene. We must find him.